as they are doing their last-minute campaigns. And this morning we're in conversation with Jama-ah, which is one of South Africa's smaller political parties but has a representation in various levels of government, including in Parliament. Jama-ah's president, Ganief Hendricks, is joining us this morning via video link on the discussion around Ask a Politician. And just a reminder once again that we are taking your questions that you have for Jama-ah. So you can send through your questions for Ganief Hendricks to 072 110 5584. That's 072 110 5584. Please send through a text. Keep it as short and brief as possible so that we can get as many questions in as possible. Ganief, good morning. Thank you so much for making time for us. So special votes starting off today. As Jama-ah, how are you feeling?
Look, we're very excited because last night the executive mayor of Johannesburg yesterday morning, the executive mayor of Johannesburg came to Cape Town to round off our campaign. We had 2,000 of our members at the Darussalam Madrasa, and it was a very exciting event. And just before that, I was in Free State, in Kwakwa. We slaughtered a cow. The day before that, I was in Dalmas. We also slaughtered another cow and brought water to both places. And also in Kufumvaba, where 75 members of the PAC were hanged. We visited all these liberation villages that supplied the people to fight for our resistance, for our freedoms we enjoy today. And we just thought that that's a nice way to end off our campaign. We have the Tijani Mabunda of the Enlightened Christian Church. Yesterday at 241 churches, he deployed pastors to tell them that Prophet Shepherd Buseri has directed that the 3 million members of the church vote for Jama-ah. We had Salim Hassan from Pretoria, who has 500 ulama, sheikhs and imams that he has been working with. They've also now on board. So we've had at least 2,000 boots on the ground. That's 1,000 people campaigning this weekend. So we're very bullish. Our prediction is that we will get 1 million votes. Now, from 55,000 to 1 million votes is a dramatic jump. Because, you know, I got my seat in Parliament with just 55,000 votes. And now our number crunchers are saying we're going to hit 1 million votes. And that means, you mentioned earlier on that we are in government in various municipalities, in Parliament, in a province, although it's only one person in each of these entities. We are now looking forward to, the mayor told me he did the number crunching because he's also the party strategist, a number cruncher. He told me last night 5 seats in Parliament, 3 seats in province of Gauteng, 2 seats in the Eastern Cape, 2 seats in Limpopo, 1 seat in Free State. So it looks very bullish, but you know, it's now up to the voters to decide whether they are going to cast their vote for us, because the vote is private. We respect their privacy. But Jama-ah is set to create waves after these elections. And we are on course to be the national front of political parties that will take over from the ANC. Most of our parties come from the liberation movement. We've got the Pan-African Congress on board. We've got AZAPU on board. We've got Azania on board. And they have decided not to, in future, contest in their names, but ask their members to vote for Jama-ah. Just like the ANC in 221 in the Western Cape, we're going to ask their members to vote for Jama-ah, but later on the IEC changed the dates. And then also the Freedom Front Plus in Escort, they also told their members to vote for Jama-ah when they did not pay their deposits. But all these parties have now paid their deposits. They've met the requirements. We wish them all well. and we hope that we're going to work together. MK has reached out to Al Jama-ah. The ANC has reached out to us that we want to have talks after election results. And Al Jama-ah is there to be an honest partner to create stability where stability is needed, like we're doing in the city of Joburg. The mayor explained his successes last night to our members and that he had a clean audit. He's built 3 power stations. He's achieved nearly 50 IDP projects. When he took over, there was 400 million left by the DA in the kitty. There's now 2 billion rand. So Joburg is cash flush. We managed to, the ANC wanted the mayor seat back last week. The leadership then dealt with the local councillors who were trying to unseat our mayor by not approving the budget. That has been sorted out. So I'm very bullish that Al Jama-ah is going to add a lot of value to our democracy after the elections.
Okay. Quite a number of things that you've mentioned there, Ganief. I want to start off here. Did I hear you correctly that you said that you went to a church and the presiding officer at that particular church said that Shepherd Bushiri had said that the members of that church should vote for Al Jama-ah?
Look, I didn't go. We had, he calls himself the Black Elijah in the church. So it's mostly pastors. And the one taking the lead was Tijani Mabunda, as you know, a famous soccer player for Sundowns, I think. I think he also made Bafana Bafana. He's taking the lead on behalf of the Prophet to tell the 241 churches and also the national pastor, I'm sorry, I don't know his name. They in Midrand, they've broadcasted. This church largely depends on broadcasts, and they broadcast to most of the churches that the Prophet has. According to them, the Prophet has prophesied that I will be the president of South Africa, but they didn't say whether it's this elections or the next elections. So that church group, and we've got Roman Catholics, we've got Protestants.
Yeah.
Although we are staunch Sunni Muslim party, we are a platform for all communities. They've all now thrown their weight behind us.
So are you saying that he told you that Shepherd Bushiri said that you will become president at some stage? Perhaps that's not going to happen now. But I also want to ask you...
No, he didn't tell me. It was Black Elijah, who is the church leader in Mpumalanga in Delmas.
Okay. So what's the link then to Shepherd Bushiri?
Look, we've got no links. It's just that, election time, we have our members tell us, please go see the imams and the sheikhs to support our campaign from the members in the mosque. We had 500 of them doing so. Same thing, our members who belong to the Roman Catholic Church in Atlantis, they've gone to their priests and they asked the party, if we had a quarrel. I said, no, we don't interfere with our members' religious beliefs and who their leaders are. And I know that there may be controversies around their religious leaders, but that is for the church to sort out. That is not for us. We are a political party. So we find that most of our support is now coming from the Enlightened Christian Church. I think that's the name of the church of Shepherd Bushiri. Our members also asked me to go and visit him, which I did in Malawi. And there was just a meet and greet, and he said, thank you very much for giving our members a political platform. We decided not to vote for the ANC in 2019 when they wrongly accused me. And they haven't been voting. So Al Jama-ah is very happy that 3 million people who haven't voted will now vote. And I hope they vote for us, because there was one party in Secunda which said the ANC promised the church R1 million for some sound system. But they told the ANC, our prophet has told us to vote for Al Jama-ah. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So as a political party that's also vying for a seat in parliament, you're already in parliament, a representative. of our constitution as well, and looking what you are stating in your manifesto when it comes to dealing with corruption. How do you balance the meet and greet that happened between yourself as well as Shepherd Bushiri? Also, the influence that comes with him saying, or them saying, that the 3 million members will be voting for Al Jama-ah, while in the same breath, this is somebody who is a fugitive.
Yes, he is a fugitive. The president of Malawi came to fetch him with an aeroplane. I raised the matter with his members. I didn't have opportunities to have much discussions with him, except the meet and greet. And they said that there is a settlement on the table. Charges will be dropped, but he may have to do, you know how these plea bargains work. But he wants to come back. And he wants to sue the media for damaging his name, some people. So the party, the members of the party, and he's got 75 million members around the world, they're very upset the way the ANC and South Africa has treated him. And so he wants the charges dropped, come back to South Africa, and he wants to litigate. Whereas we believe that on the table is some plea bargain agreement, and he was quite happy to settle the matter, but his legal advisors have advised him. Yeah. So Al Jama-ah is a political party. I mean, we don't get involved in the religious leaders that our members have. He's not going to vote for us.
Okay.
It's their members who are card-carrying members of the party. If someone tells me go to the Pope and the Pope is accused of his people involved in child rape and so on, we're not going to, not go and see the Pope because many of our members are Catholics.
Yeah, but the difference is this is actually somebody who's been... The difference here is that Shepherd Bushiri is somebody who's actually been charged, and there's an extradition application. So there's no equivalence to the two. But I do understand the point that you raised, that at the end of the day, that these 3 million people, some of them are South Africans, card-carrying, not card-carrying, but people who have IDs, and some possibly registered to vote, so they have every right to go and vote. We're going to take a quick break, Ganief, and then we're going to come back with some questions that we have from our viewers around your political campaign, and also what you have to say once after the elections, also looking into coalitions. Just a reminder, once again, there is that WhatsApp number there, 072-110-5584. 072-110-5584. That is the WhatsApp number that you can send through your questions for Ganief Hendricks, who is the leader of Al Jama-ah. We continue the conversation after this short break. And welcome back. We continue shining the spotlight on different political parties as they are doing their last-minute push in terms of the election campaigns. And this morning we're in conversation with Al Jama-ah's leader, that is Ganief Hendricks. Ganief, once again, thank you so much for continuing to stay with us. I just quickly want to go to the questions that we have from our viewers, then we'll continue the conversation. Just a reminder of that number once again, 072-110-5584, 072-110-5584. So the first question that we have, Ganief, is from Anonymous, who says, does Al Jama-ah believe in the enforcement of Sharia law, and are they willing to push for its adoption? Also, how do they feel about setting up an Islamic university in Mzansi? And I see, Ganief, as part of your manifesto, you do promise to promote Muslim personal law as well as a Sharia court. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, look, as you know, that Islam is in South Africa for 350 years, and a nikah reform in a mosque has not been recognized. So my election promise that got me the seat in Parliament was to get South Africa to issue a Muslim marriage certificate, so the consequences are in terms of the Sharia and not in terms of the Constitution. We've achieved that now. The Constitutional Court has a rule that government enact legislation, but it wasn't necessary. Myself and the Minister of Home Affairs As you know, we've got a very close relationship with the ANC. We work in many areas with them. Although now, we are saying people must vote for us and not them. The minister and myself, we have managed to find a way without legislation to issue a Muslim marriage certificate. And as I speak, anyone who takes their certificate from the church, from the mosque to Home Affairs will get a Muslim marriage certificate, the first in the world. We are not interested in Sharia law, only when it comes to Muslim personal law. Because Sharia law also has sanctions with regard to crimes and so on. We can't apply that in South Africa. It is hardly applied in any part of the Muslim world as well. So the media seems to talk about, focus on that aspect, but Muslim personal laws with regard to marriages, divorce, custody of children, and we are guided by the Quran on what to do, and we just want to make sure that that is the way to go. It complies with the principles of universal human rights. So that is what we're pushing, and we are pushing for matters of Sharia law that is easy to implement and in line with our constitution, because otherwise we're involved in litigation and we don't have time for that. We want to do the best we can for our members, because before we got the Muslim marriage certificate, when Muslims die, their death certificate is never married, and that's an indignity. There are problems with inheritance. So that is, I just can't recall the other questions, but quite willing, it's very important to answer.
Yeah, this was around the establishment of a university.
Look, we feel that in the rural areas, there should be universities. We know there's a money problem. So what Jama-ah has suggested, and this is what we did in Kwakwa, when the youth approached us that they want a university, we told them we rather prefer that they be a grade 13 and 14, maybe 15, where they get university standard and technicon standard training in order to be ready for next generation jobs. As you know, I got an award as a pioneer of the internet in 2002. I'm involved in Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, and we hope that is going to help us get a lot of votes too using artificial intelligence. But going forward, we feel that the high schools should have these extra classes, and so that our young people match the requirements of industry. So we're going to do a skills audit, a skills need, and approach government when we get to Parliament. We only had one person in the sixth Parliament. In the seventh Parliament, we have more people, and one of our lawmakers will focus on a substitute for universities in the rural areas, designed directly and linked to jobs. We also said that while they are being trained, we're going to approach industry to give these young people as an incentive 5,000 rand a month, because normally after matric, people go and work to bring in money to put food on the table. We would rather prefer that they continue studying, big business sponsor them, and guarantee them a job when they leave.
Okay, when it comes to Parliament, I see that Kabelo Kwamanda is number 3 on your national list. Does it mean that you'll be leaving the city of Joburg if Jama-ah is able to secure more than 3 seats?
Well, he says we're going to get 5 seats. And the last night when I met with him in Cape Town at a Turkish restaurant, where we had 50 business people coming to tell us, what do you need? How can we help you? I asked him the question in front of them, now, Mayor, we're getting 5 seats. What is the game plan now? The ANC is going to ask us for another mayor. We gave them 2 mayors. Now they may ask us for a third mayor in Joburg. Must I start, identifying a third mayor? And that will obviously make history in the world that Al-Jama has three mayors in one term. So he told me, President, I see you put me on a party list number 3. You know, when you draw up a party list, you put your senior people in terms of merit on the list. So he said, President, it's up to you. The party have to decide where they want to redeploy me. If you want me to stay as mayor of Joburg, that's fine. If you want me to come to parliament, I'm ready. Wherever the party wants, I will go. He's very loyal to the party.
So he's ready to leave the city of Joburg?
No, he's quite excited to complete his full term. He told me that. He says that he claims to be doing very well. He told our business people, and those are many millionaires here in Cape Town. He explained to them what he's doing about import and exports, about the smart city that is emerging in near Nigeria. He drafted the policies of the city for a smart city and the fourth industrial revolution when he was the advisor to 3 ANC mayors before he became a councillor for Al-Jama and later our mayor. So he wants to stay, but at the same time, wherever the party wants to redeploy him. So I'll have to decide whether I need him in parliament or whether I need him in the city of Joburg. We had to sacrifice him for our election campaign because he was so busy, he couldn't take part in many of our election rallies because of the work in the city. And the last 2 weeks, the ANC tried to remove him by not approving the budget. The seniors in the ANC, like I told you earlier, stepped in and told him no. Al-Jama will continue to govern the city of Joburg. We have a very good relationship with them. We trust them. And all the other 8 parties also felt, no, they want him to remain as mayor. So if they pitch that, I will certainly allow him to continue to be mayor of Joburg, who's doing the best job of all the mayors we had in the last decade.
Okay, another question here from one of our viewers, Lebu, asking, Mr. Hendricks, do you think that it was proper for President Cyril Ramaphosa to consolidate his governing party's election campaign at a state platform? And I suspect that this is linked to the address by the president yesterday. It was an address to the nation, and some people are saying that the president used that opportunity to also campaign. What do you read into it?
You must remember that, I don't see anything wrong with that, that he is a president of the country. So it was a double whammy. He had to give advice as president, and why not use the opportunity to also get votes for his party? Because if he doesn't get votes for his party, how can he implement the vision that he has? Number one, to reform the ANC, and they're doing a very good job there.
So you think it was appropriate?
Two, to continue. Sorry?
Do you think that it was appropriate for him to do exactly as you say, use the opportunity to promote the ANC?
Of course. I mean, I would have done the same. I mean, that's the last pitch that you can have. And it doesn't mean because I'm president of a country, I can't promote my party because I'm there as president because of the votes that the ANC got and the confidence South Africa had in the ANC at the time of the last election.
Okay. We're speaking now about the president and the president being accused of abusing his power. A bit earlier on, when I asked you about Bushiri, Shepherd Bushiri, you said that he had left the country with the Malawian president. And I remember that President Lazarus Chakwera had actually denied that he smuggled Bushiri out of the country. Is there any new evidence that you have?
Look, you correctly mentioned that the court case for his extradition is ongoing, and Al-Jama respects the rule of law. So we want to wait for the court findings in Malawi. They are a respected court. And, and then we'll be guided by them. But at the moment, he's not guilty. and there's a prima facie cases against him. There's opportunities. There are efforts to drop the charges. Very senior
Sure.
members of the ANC told me. The ANC even went to Secunda to try and get their votes. You can't tell me that because there is charges against someone like Zuma, for example, corruption charges, that Jama-ah must not allow the members, our members who see him as a leader or respect him, not to accommodate them in one way or another, especially if MK wasn't allowed to contest.
Yeah, but my
and they
question
were
now,
Zuma supporters.
my question now, Mr. Hendricks, is in relation to what you said earlier on, that Shepherd Bushiri was smuggled out of the country by the president of Malawi. Are you now
Look,
saying...
that's what I read from the media. And
which he has denied.
Also, I want to tell you that he was late for my meet and greet, and he told me he had to sign off the budget for Malawi. So he's very closely connected to the president of Malawi. So when the media says that he escaped with the Malawi jet, and coincidentally, he left the country at the same time the jet left the country. There seems to be some credibility in the media's position that he's escaped with the Malawi president. So you must ask your media colleagues why they put it out.
Yeah, it's the investigative pieces. I guess they work as independent journalists. They come up with stories as well, and sometimes those are denied. But President Lazarus has denied these allegations. I quickly want to go. You've just mentioned now the MK Party. At the launch of the MK Party with former President Jacob Zuma announcing that you will be voting for the MK Party, I noted that Thapelo Ahmed was there as well. Can you confirm if Jama-ah is in conversation with the MK Party to work together, whether it is through a coalition or anything of that sort?
Look, some of the funders I had engaged with them in Durban, and they indicated to me, and I told them, we work very well with Cyril Ramaphosa because the electorate voted him as president. Whoever is voted as president of the country, if it's MK or if it's EFF, we will respect the wishes of the electorate and we will work with them. The only condition is that they must have roots in the foundational principles of the liberation movement, and they must support Africa being one country. Because that's the position of Jama-ah. We feel that countries on its own won't make it. We have to have a united Africa. So those are only two conditions: the foundational principles of the liberation movement and Africa to be one, and also the continental trade to kick off so we have no borders.
Okay. Care to mention who those funders are?
Look, I'm not going to do that. They're not funders, they're supporters. I suppose they go around. I believe Sabir Sheikh is one of the people going around collecting monies for him, and we can all understand it. Zuma gave him a get out of jail free card. And we don't dabble in the election campaigns of other parties. We are focusing on Jama-ah, and we have 1 million members that we feel are going to vote for us.
All right.
And we're going to footprint of 5 million.
Was Sabir Sheikh part of that meeting?
No, he wasn't. He said that he's going to try and meet me a few days later in Cape Town when he comes up. But I was in Delmas campaigning, so that never took place.
Okay, then thank you so much for your time. Ganief Hendricks is the leader of Jama-ah. One of the parties represented in Parliament, and has indicated there only one seat since they were launched in 2007, but he believes that on May the 29th, they will receive around 1 million votes. Is that possible at all? Still to come here on the AM Report, we give you the latest in sports with Andy.